I don't know how my audio is, but I definitely cannot listen to myself coming in to the headphones. So, I'm sure there's a way I can shut that monitoring off, but I don't know how to do that yet. So, anyway, my name is Will. I go by I Will Create. And, I've been wanting to go live now for quite a while with just some different things that, are in my life, on my mind, and whatnot. And if anybody's watching, I don't know if you could just let me know if I've got any good audio. I don't even know where to look to see if anybody's watching, so I don't figure it out, I guess. So anyway, the reason why I am live right now is because I have a lot of gear, and I use it in a lot of different ways. I use a lot of different workflows, some a little more complex, some are pretty easy to digest. But you know what? I bet I can use this one. So what I wanted to do after realizing that I'm actually coming up on 300 subscribers, and for a lot of people that's nothing, that's just a drop in the bucket, but for me that is, it tells me that there are some people out there that are interested in what I'm doing, and so it became like really clear to me just recently that the only people I need to worry about are the people that are subscribing to my channel. So, anybody that is subscribed to my channel and that's watching this, I want to say thank you, because it tells me that you guys believe in me. And half the time I don't even know what I'm doing. So I a lot of times use music as an outlet, a a way to cope with life as it comes, a way to decompress, however you want to describe it. It's my release. It's the way that I feel most myself when I'm making music. And I'm not the most talented musician. I think technically I stand up to a lot of people as far as knowledge base. I know a lot about synthesis and MIDI, and setting up gear, just all that stuff that goes into making music. And oh, cool! I do see some people in here. Cool. Hey, what's up, Mr. Pirate Brain? What up, Q? Mr. Basic. All right, cool. So I got a couple guys in here. So this is what this is about, guys. I'm trying out some different things, okay? And what I'm doing right here, and some of you guys might find this cool, is I'm working on this multi-camera setup. Okay? Back there, I got the Dell set up, and it's interesting workflow. It's poly video productions. I don't know what to call it. Multi-camera. I'm thinking about doing switchers and all this other stuff, but really, you know, I want to do this kind of regularly. Mr. Basic, you're an inspiration to me in that you get on your stream and you reach out to people and you know, you communicate with people, and it doesn't matter what their style is, what their genre is. Um, and, you know, that's what I'm about. And there's a lot about me that people that see my videos on YouTube, they don't know. So, I'm coming up on 300, like I said, okay? And I know that a lot of you guys that watch my videos, you don't know me. So, I'm going to tell you who I am. And I'm going to tell you a bit about why I do what I do and what made me into this guy that you see sitting here, okay? Now, this isn't your typical, you know, gear, you know, it is music related. Trust me, this is music related. But I just feel like for those people that have stuck with me, whether I'm putting out one video a month or 3 a week, I think you guys deserve to know a little bit more about who I am. So, we got audio correct. Oh, okay. So, I don't know if we got audio yet. I think we do. And you'll understand here in a second. Alright, I wrote a couple of these things down because I don't want to, I have a tendency to wander off on tangents about all kinds of things. I'm sure that will happen. But, and I'm nervous because sitting in front of a camera knowing that people are watching me makes me nervous. A lot of times I will set up elaborate performances where I'm using 6 or 7 pieces of gear in one video, and I'll forget everything as soon as the camera goes on. Okay? You may want to call it anxiety. You may want to call it, I don't know, stage fright. Whatever you want to call it, it's part of who I am. And it also comes out in other ways. So, this is what this is about. Who am I? What is my message? And what is my goal? So, I'm a problem solver, okay? If you guys have issues with, like, setting things up, routing things, you know, trying to pick gear for yourself, if you're not quite sure about something and you don't have all that knowledge on base, on board, I mean, that you need to make a decision, you can reach out to me and I'll tell you if I've owned it, what I thought of it. I'll give you an honest opinion. So, first of all, guys, I live in Antarctica, okay? I live in Maine, but it's basically Antarctica, okay? I grew up here. I grew up in a small town called Brewer, Maine. I am white trash. I'm sorry if that offends anybody. I grew up in a trailer, just a poor kid from Brewer, Maine, okay? I didn't graduate high school. I had to get my GED, and, you know, that led me to different places. I'm a dad. I'm a husband. My daughter is 16 years old, and she's into music. She's into art. She's into, you know, we do things together, you know, musically. She's creative, and that's why her and I connect really well. One thing I am for sure is I am creative. Okay, I may not know a lot of things about a lot of things, but I'm creative. And that's what all this is about. So, after I got my GED, I joined the military. I was in the Army. I was in Special Forces. I was airborne. I was in a Special Forces unit. And, you know, had some good times, had some bad times. But, you know, that led me down another road. After I was discharged from the military, I, you know, was diagnosed with an illness. So a lot of you guys don't know this, but I have something called Behçet's disease. and it is an inflammatory condition. And in this, what happens is I get inflammation. I was actually blind, and I've been in some pretty bad places in life. I was hooked on all kinds of narcotics and painkillers, and excuse me, I think my mouth gets dry when I get nervous. So, hooked on all kinds of pain medicine and all this stuff. And by the way, I am going to get into some music here, but this is just important to me on this first, hopefully, of many live studio sessions. I just want to bring out who I am so that you guys can follow and hopefully share with me who you are, because I want to know more about you guys as well. That's what's important to me, is the connection with people. It isn't about, subscriber count. I could care less how many subscribers I have. I am so grateful for the ones that I have, because I haven't, knock on wood, I haven't lost a subscriber. So that's important to me, because that means that you guys are digging what I'm doing, and that I'm at least consistent in some way, because if you didn't like what I was doing, you'd leave. So let's see. Haha, cool. So, all right. I left off real quick. So I was hooked on all kinds of stuff. I was living in a homeless shelter. Okay. I got into recovery. I was, I've been sober over 10 years now. So in my videos, you may see me. In some of my videos, I hint at things. I want you to reach out if you're having problems, and you need some emotional support or whatever. Reach out to people. So I was living in a homeless shelter, okay, and I met my wife. Believe it or not, I met my wife. I was living in a homeless shelter, and I just met a unicorn, and Mr. Pirate Brain knows this term, okay? I met a unicorn, and she supports me. She supports everything that I do, even financially helps me. And in return, I try to give her unconditional support in what she's doing. She has a very stressful job, and it's important to have it both ways, okay? Now, some other things, listen, a lot of us are this way. I'm socially awkward, okay? That's why I'm here by myself, because I don't feel comfortable around a lot of people. And that's why, I am trying to become better in a DJ style of performing, because I want to be able to take my deluge, take my digitone, and take a couple of small pieces of gear and do a gig. So I'm trying to get comfortable in that way. I think a lot of us are that way, and that's why we're pulled to YouTube. So I'm OCD, ADD, all that stuff. It just I don't know, call it anxiety, whatever you want to call it. So I do try very hard to present myself in a positive way. I try not to dwell on things. I've met a lot of great people in the last, I would say, 2 years. I've met some really fantastic people, and it wouldn't have happened without music. Music has been the one thing that's kind of allowed me to meet these people, whether it was through Facebook or YouTube or through other people. And not everybody stays. Sometimes you meet people and they come into your life and you have a good little run, and then you kind of go your separate ways. And that's happened on more than one occasion, and that's okay. At times you can feel a little bit like a loner, and it's not always by choice. Sometimes you're a loner because you live in Maine and there's nobody doing what you do. Um, Other times you're a loner because you don't want to be around people, and sometimes it's a combination of all that stuff. So, let's see. Well, so my favorite things of all time, okay? Music is my number one favorite thing. Besides family, besides, all that stuff. Um, Music, okay? Music production. The process, all that stuff is important to me, and it's what I live for. I feel like I'm missing out if I'm not doing something with music daily. Um, Cars. I'm into cars. I fix cars. You know, I like to have a decent vehicle. Put nice speakers in it, stuff like that. I do DIY projects. I want to show you guys one. Okay, I had told you guys about the secret synth build, and this was something that I was working on for a while. Now, if you're friends with me on Facebook, you've seen it because I've posted videos and pictures. But those of you on YouTube who are here that are just friends with me through YouTube, you guys haven't seen the finished product. So I was gonna reveal it kind of like in a better way, but I don't see any reason why I shouldn't. I mean, your guys are here. You're here. If you're watching this, if you're not watching it live, you're watching it later on, and maybe you remember the video that I started. So I'm just connecting it right here so I can have a visual. All right. So this is the finished product here. This is the Volca station. Now, if I get up, I don't know if you're going to be able to hear me, but I'll try to speak up a bit. So this is the finished Volca station. A lot of people are like, why did you spend so much money on Volcas and all this stuff? Listen, they're good machines, and they're secondhand. So this will do a lot of the same stuff that a lot of my other gear can do. And it was a fun project. I got the Volca mixes here. And everything's wired, everything's MIDI'd up. There's a little mixer here in the back. I got a MIDI through port in the back that's got a splitter, a 7 or 6 device MIDI splitter back, MIDI through box. And then these run separately. And, in future videos, I want to show you guys how all the routings are done. Because through the iConnect MIDI 4 Plus, I'm able to connect all this gear and play it all from my Deluge or my MPC or the KeyStep. So wherever I am in my studio, I can access any synthesizer. And I want to show you guys how that stuff works. So let me get back on track here before I lose focus here. Okay, so the DIY projects, I mean, I've always done that kind of stuff. And then my least favorite things of all time are shitty mermaid movies. That's it. I hate mermaid movies. Anytime I've been brought to a mermaid movie, it's ass. So I'm not going to deal with mermaid movies. So let me check this here. Okay, where are we at? Let's see. I'm getting hearts and stuff. Let me see out here. Let me go back. Let's see who's up in here. Alright. We've got Mr. Basic Harris. We've got Mr. Pirate Brain, which I appreciate you guys very much. Vinny. Special Nobodies. You guys all need to go and check out these channels. Um, yeah, I appreciate that, man. I appreciate that. I try to have my own style. Um, you can assist me with ways. Cool, cool. I would love. Oh, hell yeah! I'd love to do that. Q. Um. All right. Everyone is a genius, but if you judge a fish on its ability to climb a tree, it will live its whole life believing it's stupid. Very true. Oh boy. Yes, sir. And I really appreciate you guys being here. Um, so there was something that somebody said just now that triggered something in me. Um, you know, I I try to do my own thing and try not to worry about what other people think and what other people say, but we're human beings, and you know, especially when it comes from, when you feel put down by people that you respect, um, it can definitely affect you, and I think the thing is that every time something affects you, you try to make that experience shorter each time, the recovery. So you get knocked down, each time you want to get back up quicker and try to learn things and try to grow and be a good human being. That's really all I care about. At the end of the day, I just want people to feel as though I'm a good human being and that I cared enough to ask somebody how they're doing, because um, I'm definitely a giver, not a taker, and um, I am here. So if there's anything else you guys want to talk about, or any questions anybody's got, or any of that kind of stuff, let me see if I can shoot this around over here. Let me see. I'm just gonna see if I can see anything going on in here. Cool. Okay. You think an iPad would work okay with an MPC, or would be kind of redundant? Cheers. Let me see. With an MPC. Okay. L Alexis. It's probably not pronounced that way. I'm gonna tell you right now that an iPad and an MPC is a great idea. The first video I ever did, you can go and look at it. Very, not right now, but the very first video that I ever did, I had an MPC 1000, an iPad, and a really crappy MIDI controller, and like 2 pieces of gear that I got at Goodwill, which is a secondhand store, like a thrift shop. So the iPad has a lot of apps, and I know of a bunch of different apps that are multi-timbral. So you can actually run like 16 MIDI channels on your MPC all at the same time, and you can route different iPad synthesizers for each track. So you can have one iPad playing 16 different instruments from your MPC, and you control that using this. So this is a USB to MIDI connection. Let me see if I can get this on the screen. Okay, there you go. So it is MIDI to USB, and it's got this little light up thing, LED lights that tell you when it's coming in and out. You get these on Amazon. They're about $5. And when you plug this into your iPad using the camera connection kit and then plug this side into your MPC, you're now going to have access to all those instruments on your iPad from your MPC. And it really is a great workflow. That's exactly how I started out. And this is just like a bigger version of that. What I have here with the MPC, I have a lot of different stuff going on. Let me see here. Okay, so basically, let me tell you about, I mean, now that I got a lot of that kind of sentimental stuff said, because it was something that I felt like I wanted my subscribers to hear, because, like I said, I'm at around like 280 something, 5 or 6 subscribers, and you guys are the most important thing I have going in the music. So, yeah, there'll be more subscribers to come, but I want to take care of the ones that I have now. So, let me assist you in any way I can, you know, and I have with others. So hit me up and let me help you out if you need it. If you don't need it, hit me up anyway. Shoot me an email. You can get me at hillbillyz35. Okay, you can hit me up there at Gmail and shoot me an email. I mean, I travel. I'm headed to Detroit in 2 weeks. I can do a meetup somewhere sometime. You know, anything. Just stay connected and reach out to people, you know. So now, as far as the routings go, this is kind of a behemoth. You know what I'm saying? And my wife hates it when I say that. I'm going to flip this around. Let's go back this way. All right. Let's see. I can't do that. You guys won't be able to hear me unless I flip that thing around. So what we got here is an iConnect MIDI 4 Plus. Okay. Now, with this thing, what it can do, let me pull up. Okay. I think it's connecting here. Okay. Just reconnecting this phone. All right. So, what this thing can do, you've got 4 sets of MIDI ports. Okay? You've got 2 in the front. Oops, I'm not even showing you, am I? There we go. All right, you've got 2 in the front. You've got 3 sets in the back. That's an out. See? Out, in, out, in, out, in. Then you've got a USB hub port over on the far right-hand side, right here. And this is plugged into this. Okay, it's just a regular old USB MIDI hub. Or not MIDI hub, a USB hub. And I've got like 8 devices plugged in here. So we've got the Rev 2, the Prophet. I've got the DeepMind, the Sledge, the Mini Nova, and I've got like a couple of circuits plugged in here. And then what it does is it actually routes all the MIDI into this one box. And then there's an app on the PC called Aurora, and Oracle. I'm sorry, it's called Oracle, and it allows you to route the MIDI wherever you want. So I've got the MIDI from my Deluge, which is over here. I've got the MIDI from my Deluge coming out, and then it goes up this ceiling here. You know what? I keep shutting this off, and I should just leave it on. I'm going to go ahead and leave it on, because this is actually one of the biggest things I've been wanting to show. on my channel. Okay, and then here we go. So the deluge, okay, the wire comes down the back of the deluge, down here, and then it goes up this, and then across the ceiling, and then down the back, so that I don't have any wires on the floor. And then it goes down the back, and then it goes into the iConnect MIDI. And then from there, it splits to each machine. So if I wanted to go to, here's all my machines right here. Okay? These are all MIDI channels, except for this one. This is a drum. This one is a MIDI channel. That's MIDI channel 5. Okay, that's playing my Prophet 6. Okay, that's playing the Prophet. Then if I want to go back and go to the Rev 2, that's on channel 6. Okay, I don't know what kind of volume you're getting. Probably you can't hear me very well. So anyway, all of these are all set up so that I can play everything from here. They're also all set up here. So, here we go. So, all my stuff is all set up within the MPC. So my Prophet 6 is on channel 5, just like over there. And it goes out on A, and then Rev 2, and the Digitone is on 4 channels because it's multi-timbral. The Mini Nova, so they all got their own thing. But the Deluge does not send MIDI to the MPC, because then you'd have competing MIDI. So I can use the MPC to clock the Deluge. When I hit play here, it starts the Deluge playing. But I don't have it going the opposite way. If I hit play on the Deluge, it does not start the MPC, because that causes problems. So everything routed this way, what I can do, because the MPC is not a multi-timbral input, MIDI input. This is a problem. This is the biggest problem with the MPC right now for live performing, is that it does not have multi-timbral MIDI input. That is bizarre. My old MPC 1000 had multi-timbral input, MIDI input. And that thing was 10 years old. It's bizarre, but my Deluge does have multi-timbral input. So what I can actually do is I can set up my tracks on the MPC if I want to, and then I can, while it's playing, I can hit record on the Deluge, and I can go and tweak knobs and whatever, and my Deluge will record anything that I touch and will play it back. So, you know, like modulations and, you know, cutoff filters and just like anything that you want to make a sound better, you can record that on the fly using this routing configuration. They have a thing called a Mio, and it's a 10-port MIDI hub. So it's got 10 inputs and 10 outputs. They're the 5-DIN MIDI kind, not the USB kind. And that would do some damage too. Now, like there's like the MIDI timepiece and all this other gear that will help you route things from here to there and everywhere else. But that's just part of the dynamic is MIDI, but then you got to have something to route all your audio. So when I'm doing work in the studio, I have to do multiple things at multiple times. Like I have to like try to like keep my head wrapped around it. So the more I do this stuff, the better it is. And every time I do it, I do get a little bit better at it. There's very complex routings here. Like you've got all these different mix channels, mix sends. You got all these different effects, and it just gets really complicated because it's all internal. It's got a touch screen and it's all internal. So if I want to route this channel to this channel, I got to go into the routing matrix and change it. You used to have to take a cord and plug it into another port, you know, and out into an in. I see there's some comments here. Let me take a look at the comments real quick. Okay. You guys probably can't hear me. Sorry if this is loud. Okay. Would it be redundant? Let me make it 3. Let's see here. Great to hear. I want an NBC Live instead of the X because of the portability. Yeah, I'm actually looking at getting a Live myself. Always have to sit in the same room. Yes, you know, I will tell you, the Live is a great option for MPC users, but don't sleep on the Deluge. You can't do as good sampling right now, but they're always updating. And just take a look at it, because you might find it, I don't know if you're into performance or if you're into just straight up like sampling and chopping. I just started chopping on it last week, and it does a really good job. So, and it's extremely portable, you know. It's got a battery just like the Live does. It doesn't have a screen, but the workflow is really quick. Okay. iPad would be the mobile unit instead. Yep. Oh, sorry about that. Yeah. Limitation is unfortunate because, yeah. My voice isn't that loud, I am sure. Let me see here. Okay. I don't know if that helps. Hopefully that helps some. And hopefully I can turn down the other stuff a little. I'll get all this dialed in because I'd really like to come back and do this again next week or whatever. If I get any comments between now and next week, I will, no pun intended, I will look into any comments that I get and maybe bring it back next week. I mean, it's Friday, guys. I don't know what you guys are doing hanging out with me, but it's probably because you're just like me and got nowhere else to go. But, so, what I wanted to do now, yo, cool. Yeah. So, what I'm gonna do now is, I don't know. I think I might just, you know, maybe try a little bit of camera work with trying to put some audio through this thing. I wonder what this thing sounds like. It probably sounds like garbage over streaming, I'm sure. But I guess I won't know until I listen to it. Let's see. Bring this down. Having some sort of echo. Yeah, I'll have to get that straightened out. Yeah, so I'll work on that the next time. But yeah, I really don't have a whole lot else to go over. Pretty much nailed everything I had out here. So, you know, if you guys enjoyed this, come on back. Let me know other things that you want to discuss or whatever. I do appreciate everybody coming over and hanging out. And I think what I'm going to do is, because of the microphone, I'm getting some weird echo going on in here. So I want to shut that down, and then maybe I'll pop back up later on. So anyway, y'all, I will see you guys next week. Appreciate you very much for coming by, and I'll be seeing you. Peace.